Hello and welcome back to Transport Fever. Now, as we are approaching the 30s of the last century, a new city is coming to life in this game that we've, had in the last episode as our focus, the Vilnius town that we have over here. It is growing now nicely, 180 pops already, plus 80% it is right now growth rating, thanks to having the food coming in here. And as we can see, this is a big booster. So I'm expecting Vilnius to be some serious competition here for our other cities, as it is also one of the first cities that we directly supply as well to our network, right? There's not that many cities out there that we're really supplying with goods at the moment. It is also to this that Vilnius is actually already bigger than Amsterdam or Stockholm, right? So it's bigger than those two cities that are already profiting from my passenger train. But, passenger trains are not boosting a city like providing goods to that certain city. This is really cool. So, Vilnius is definitely going to be something here. Now, let's just check what we could do here in order to further maximize that. As we can see, our full grain train is coming in right now, getting a lot of profits done for us. There's 30 food waiting at the moment. That is not so much yet, so I'm hoping there's a bit more food coming for Vilnius than at some point. But what we can do is, first of all, this train is definitely going to be full for quite some time. I would probably like to get the second growth or the second farm now into my network that we can then kind of like merge here together to our double tracks that we have already laid out for us. Yeah, probably somewhere here. By the way, there's a road, but that's just a road for farms and Vilnius. Oh, it connects Hamburg, but there's barely any traffic on this road. Not very important, right? There's absolutely no traffic between the two cities, so I'm not worried in the least here. What we can do though is I can have this train then being connected. I guess we can do it with this single track here, because I'm not expecting that I have a second train on this one. So let's go ahead and get us the next train on the way. Perhaps make it a bit further away here. And of course we want to keep the top speed for this track alive. Kind of like, so let's get this one over. Looking good. Going then right into another dead-end station, of course, a Terminus cargo station. There we have it. And we probably will want to have it somewhere over there so that it hasn't made contact there with anything else other than the road. And boom, there it is, including a nice, beautiful new station here that we have. I mean, beautiful. It's a nice area, at least, where this station is housing from now on. It's Upper Vilnius. How very nice. Now, in Upper Vilnius, we are going to have another train. I hope we have the depot there that we can use for that. The signals are also perfectly aligned, right? We have the one-way here now. There's the train on the right side, and it's going all the way up here, so we can then continue with our signals. We should definitely do that, having the one way here and here. So we do need to keep that, especially now that we have a couple of trains then on this line. So that is the one way, and the same thing we can do here then once again. And I'm also going to have a normal signal here. That is pretty important, so the train that's coming from here knows that when it can enter this track here, and the same goes for this train, right? So these signals are pretty important for that, all of that basically. Now let's get ahead and have us a new line. So it's Upper Vilnius, and we're connecting it with Stockholm East over there. And this is another grain train. I just have no idea which one it is. That we need to look it up, right? We already have a grain 2, grain 1, and this is going to be grain 3. Right, so there we have our trains, and we have the grain it's grain Vilnius. Then we might call it grain Vilnius 2, because now I know where it is belonging to. There's going to be a train for that. It's probably the same train that we already use, so 112 capacity. I'm going to increase that, right? So this train here should still have some capacity available that we can use, because there's just so much grain really that we can deliver. Oh goodness, look at that. 216, that might be actually a bit too much. Let's keep 200 for now. That's 4 million it cost me just to add these additional parts then to this train. Right, but we definitely have that demand, and the other one is coming now for the grain Vilnius too. Now it is also time to have a quick looky at our, oil and fuel production in general, because I want to start supplying now more and more cities with our precious goods. What we can see here is now we do have like 5 of these oil tankers on this line, and yet we are still totally capped on oil for this one. This is bad in many ways. First of all, we are losing profit, and the other one is that those refineries, for example, don't level up because there's not enough ships that get the goods away, right? So there's no reason for this to level up because simply, well, goods are sitting around. It's overproducing at the moment. The other bad thing is that these two here are never really fully utilized. So as we can see here, there's some oil coming in, of course, but only from time to time. That's not helping out. So we do need to get a couple of more ships out on this line there, and I think we do have a window open right now because there is no oil tanker close to the depot. And let's get ahead and copy us well, some 2 more of my oil tankers. They're coming out now, and as we can see, the other ones are still far away. There's actually non-oil tanker close by. That should not be the case. 2 more coming out, hopefully helping the supply problem that we have there. Now, that's one refinery. It's one that is pretty far away, but ships are perfect for that because they're cheap. Let's just also check the trade. I think the route will be negative now. No, it's not. It's one of my most profitable routes, in fact, right? My oil trading ship route here, 6 million profits in the last quarter or something like that. Each ship per itself is not making that much profit, but combined with the volume that we're transporting with them is just insane. So that's a pretty good thingy here. Now, of course, it would be wise to use a second refinery somewhere that we could use for all of that oil here, but at the moment, that's not going to happen so much. So we do have, of course, the trains, right? So we have the trains still delivering the raw oil. This one here is the perfect one. So this one is making us a lot of coin. It's not really full anymore, I see now. That might be a problem, that this is not really full. There's 2 trains on this, right? Both of them are making a good profit. I'm hoping they are profitable. Oil that we have at 4.5 million at the moment. But there's not enough oil here. So we do want to open up another trade. And we do have here this oil well there that I would like to use for that. So first of all, once again, we do need our terminus station for that. Let's place it somewhere over here, a bit parallel there to the road. It has its connection. And then we do have the main track here. So that's 2 tracks already. So it will absolutely be no problem to just merge this one with the other ones. Of course, we want to keep the max speed. Oh, there's also going to be a tunnel. This one cost me 1.5 million, but that's fine. And here we are going to merge then with this network here. We have a minor decrease there in speed, but that is absolutely fine. And over here, we want to get over there so that once it's on its way back, it can... Actually, I think we need to make it like that. Wait a second. I think we do need to make it like that because this is a one-way track, right? So it can't get to the other track system there. And this one continues then. This is a bit finicky. If we want to get into the tunnel system there, and in the tunnel it merges then. Right. So this is messy. What is happening here? This tunnel is messed up right now. It's very strange. Now it's working. I think they need a bit more distance there from the entrance. But well, this is it. We can keep these speeds. I don't actually need to do anything else here because it's pretty obvious where the train needs to go, right? And then from here, and then it merges with the other tracks then once again here, right? So it's using both of these tracks. We don't even need to do any new signal there as it knows exactly where it needs to go. We have the depot. That's basically it. So this is how smooth it can go if you have the main track already intact. There is already the latest train now coming up with one of our very modern locomotives. I'm not fully utilizing that locomotive though yet, so it's still with excellent weight that it's going with, because I'm not entirely sure that we're going to need all of that, right? I have no idea how much is piling up here. It's looking pretty good at this point, righto? But as I can see here, I will probably now need to get rid of one of these trains, righto? Because they're not entirely full anymore, and it's more profitable to just use one big mega train, and that's also what we're doing here. This one has the oil with it right now. There's the new train coming, and the old one is here. I can also see that I will need more signals there. This one here, this one can go now, right? I'm going to sell this one. Sorry, pal. That's 11 more million that we get out of that. And this one here is getting a new locomotive, the latest version that we have, because that one, it's more powerful and it's faster. So we want to use that. And that's basically it, right? So we only have one train now, but it's faster and also can carry more cars if I need them later again. But I think this is more profitable than having two of these because locomotives are very expensive maintenance cost-wise, and I think this will be just as fine. Now, as the train is getting back now to the station, what I can see is that there is way more oil than this train is long. So let's just add more wagons now, cars to this one. We can just see how many actually are fitting on one of these locomotives. I'm still not stopping there. 387 would be the maximum capacity. 360, that's another 8 million. Boy, these trains are expensive. But that is probably now the longest train in the history yet. I mean, we are still going to see much longer trains than that, but that is already pretty insane. More than 300 tons of oil is being transported with that. It's absolutely needed. The other one is also getting pretty full over there, and the train is not even back home, so we will still need to make this longer. It's a bit strange, right? So two were too much, but one very long one is actually not enough. I think the growth rate is adjusting itself. We have 250. Let's also get this one here and push beyond 300 maximum capacity for both of them. Yes, well, and there is our new baby coming. And what I can see directly is that it's a bit too slow probably for this area. So this I will still need to optimize there a bit. My goodness, what a train. Leading to a whopping 8.4 million per destination that we are making out of this one. Very nice indeed. So this one can work for quite some time, and as we can see, it's still not getting enough oil. So production was already dropping again, and it's now consuming all that oil, but that's still not enough. I don't think that these two lines are enough really. We probably would need another oil well somewhere close by. No idea about that yet. Now anyway, we're getting all of that oil up there now to Paris, and there we have our big fuel refinery, and as we can see, there's also quite a lot of fuel. And I would like to take this opportunity now to get our first trains on the way. This is going to be exciting. Where do we have fuel consumption? In Amsterdam and in Stockholm. So there's actually two of them here. And there's a couple of options how we could go about this. The first one is we could have one central airport, and from there we deliver then the fuel to both of them. We could also have an airport right next to the city that is then providing the fuel, but then we would have some pollution problems as well. And the third option would be to have an airport close by that works for deliveries and also for passenger transportation. We're going to use both of these methods because I think, first of all, diversity is very good, and second of all, we can also see what is more profitable long-term wise then, right? And we could have now the first airport for this one. Boy, they're really big, and as we can see, there's the fuel department for this city here right away. So I could have this one right next to the city there at the outskirts more or less of Stockholm, right? Problem is, of course, the planes will fly over Stockholm most likely. But what can I do about it, right? Then we get the first one, that is for the fuel now. And then I'm going to have another airport just over here. And this one is, oh goodness, first of all, very expensive because of all the terrain. And yeah, let's just squeeze it kind of like into that depot that we have, that train depot, right? I think this is just perfect. There we have it. And this one, however, does get us a medium road that we're going to have right next to the airport. It's over here. This airport can also then serve as passenger transportation, for example. And then we're getting over there into Amsterdam. Now, what we still need, of course, is a truck station for the airport itself that we're probably going to have some over there. Righto. And then we need one here. And as we can see, there's lots of fuel here, lots of customers that we could work with. Let's squeeze it in here. We're going to delete 2 buildings. Why 4 buildings? Is that 4 buildings here? It's really just the 2 of them. Right, it was just the 2 of them. I don't know. Perhaps it was 4 or something like that for this one. Now, the only thing I think we now need here, do we have a road depot close by? This is a tram depot. No, we don't have a road depot. We do need still a truck depot. There we have it, the road depot. Let's just have it right next to this one. And then we can create the new line here for the trucks that are delivering the fuel over there. So this is Fuel Amsterdam. Right. And there's going to be one truck only on this line. It's going to be a transporter. fuel Amsterdam. And of course, we're going to say, for this line here, we're going to say one thing, and that is wait for full cargo, right? So that it doesn't go around all the time. So that's it. This truck is basically now waiting for some fuel to arrive, and then we could deliver it. The other one, we can just keep like that. Now, the only thing that's really missing now is an airport over here with the fuel refinery. Let's go ahead, a cargo airport. Could actually probably, yep, connect it here with that little road there. And there we have it. At the end of this road, just nice and easy. And there we have it. Now we only need the first train, the first plane line. So let's go ahead and get us the very first one for the fuel, Paris Airport. It's not Paris Airport really. We're going to call it Paris Exchange or something like that. Something cargo stylish. And we're going to add the other one to Stockholm Airport. This can actually be the main airport for Stockholm now. Also because it's very close to it, right? That's the first one. So that is fuel 1. But that is fuel Stockholm. Call it like that. And then I still need to have a second one from over there, Paris Exchange to Amsterdam Airport. This can also be the main airport for Amsterdam, and this is fuel Amsterdam. Now, ladies and gents, it's about time to get the first planes out there that we have. I do need my Paris depot, and there we have it, the Vicus Victoria. It can transport 8 cargo in one way. 150 kilometers an hour, 1922. The Vicus Victoria is a British transport aircraft, which was also used for the transport of troops. Around 100 units were built. I'm probably not going to build that many units. We're probably going to build 4 of them for now, or purchase 4 of them. And I'm going to have each one of them then applied to both of these lines. And there we have those beauties. Now, of course, there's no fuel yet because there's probably no oil in the fuel refiner. We need to wait for that ship. But these planes, these planes will also probably wait for, in Paris Exchange, wait for full load. Otherwise, they would waste a lot of money by just flying around. Anyway, this one is still launching now. Also really cool that we can see the speed of these aircrafts as it is making its way now to Amsterdam. Empty-handed for now, but still a victory for us, I hope. I hope it's going to be profitable. Gosh, I hope, because it's expensive. There is the ship coming in, so we should be seeing now some fuel then soon appearing here once that oil is being processed. As we can see, also shipment starts to apply now. Meanwhile, I'm a bit shocked to see that my food transportation is at its limit. I never expected that. But let's just check it now. There's of course a lot more grain coming in. As we can see, yeah, shipping is right, but shipment is rather not full yet. What is the problem? 100 food is waiting at the train station. Vilnius, meantime, is really exploding, almost at 300. Target population plus 100% growth rate, and it needs more food. We need way more food for Vilnius, so let's just apply this one. I'm really happy to see that. The boxcar, there we have it. Let's just add a few more. It's already mediocre. 80 tons, 88 tons is still fine. So this one is a bit longer now. And more food is getting over there to this beautiful city there in the mountains. Vilnius. I hope it has enough room to grow, because it's definitely going to need all of that. And I think this train is also making some nice profit there every time that it turns now. Also, since it's getting twice as much now. Twice as much cargo. Meanwhile, holy cow, there is like a lot of fuel waiting in Paris Exchange. For some reasons, we don't have enough planes. Let's get 2 more planes out the way. And one is for fuel Amsterdam and one is for fuel Stockholm. Because we want to get that fuel over there. This is going to be very important, of course, for both of these cities, as it will also skyrocket the growth rating. Now they're full. Yes, well, and just in time we get a new aircraft, actually, the Junker. So the Vicus Victoria is actually not going to be active for too long. Both of them are now over there, over the mountains already. Boy, that was very close here. But I guess they calculate the distance. This poor guy even has the need to sit outside. Gosh, I definitely don't want to sit outside there at 150 kilometers an hour at this height. But well, they do it. And I'm just really curious now how much money we make out of that. And then I'm going to, well, replace the Vicus Victoria again So by now it's already coming close to Amsterdam airport, flying over the whole city. Gosh, that's going to be a problem, I reckon. We might need to kind of like move this airport still around there again as we're starting to land. It's so beautiful to really follow these. And look at that, we can even see the fuel tanks in the plane itself as we're now stopping. Now this is also going to be very interesting how much profit we make out of that, because this is not the final destination for this plane yet. There's still the truck waiting, and the truck is actually already transporting a few thingies around because there was one plane ahead of it. 8, of course. This truck can carry how much? 7, so it's only going to take 2 turns there when one of these planes comes in, but once they can carry more, of course, then he will be quite busy. Let's just see it. 600,000, that sounds okayish. Now the truck gets the fuel and delivers that to Amsterdam as well, and is also making profit out of that again. In Amsterdam itself, there he is coming in, and boom, 6,900. That's not so much, but at least the fuel is in. So as we can see, you know, that's 6,000 and that's 600,000. So the difference is quite astonishing. Now though, fuel gets in, and as we can see, it's adding now a bit there to the growth of Amsterdam. Not that much yet. It is not that fuel, but it's going to grow then more quickly once we are able to get more fuel over. And this brings me, well, to my first modernization already. Manage the vehicles for this line, so Fuel Amsterdam, and we're going to change them with the Junkers U-52. Nicknamed Anjou, was designed as a low-maintenance aircraft made to carry large cargo volumes in areas with poor infrastructure. It can already carry 10 capacity instead of 8. It can still carry everything, and it has a maximum speed of 200 kilometers an hour as opposed to 150. So it is also faster. Let's just have both of them being completely replaced by the Junker. And there this beauty is already, and this is really a beautiful aircraft. I couldn't say that about the last one, but this time it is a beauty. And this one is also transporting now 10 fuel. I probably don't even need that many planes then anymore. And off it goes, much faster than the previous one. As we're getting into a new age of aircraft. Stay tuned.